dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, it's 6 o'clock. I'm Will Puckett.
And I'm Cassidy Strickland. Thank you so much for waking up with us on this Wednesday. If you're getting ready to head out the door, another good day to make sure to bundle up.
Yeah, definitely. Yesterday was just so cold, and Brandon says this morning might seem actually a little bit colder because of the wind. So take that as your warning from both of us this morning, but we'll toss it over to Brandon, who'll give you a better look at what you should see this morning and later into the day. Brandon?
Yeah, it's going to be kind of one of those dreary days once again. Not a whole lot of sunshine to be seen and cloudy skies, maybe a sprinkle or two as we head through the day today. But again, nothing major going on yet. That next system works its way in here tomorrow. Let's take a look at this morning, though. Current conditions across the region. We start here in Hazard, and you see the fog off in the distance outside the WYMT studios this morning. And good morning to you here just after 6 o'clock. Whitesburg, overlooking downtown, all quiet there this morning as well. Some visibility issues, Wise down to a mile now. It's at 5 miles in Moorhead, a couple spots right there on the close on the visibility issue scale. Jackson and Hazard at 7, London and Williamsburg at 9. Everybody else there, pretty good visibility as far as that goes this morning. Line pinpoint Doppler radar is nice and quiet, but again, maybe not picking up on a little bit of moisture that could be around in the form of snowflakes right now. Could be a little bit of drizzle a little bit later on. Temperatures upper 20s, Wise and Logan there sitting at 28 apiece. 33 Monticello is the warm spot, and along with Ashland there as well. And we also see temperatures right there 31, 30, 32 across the region. Across the state, 34 Paducah, 32 Huntington, 33 in Cincinnati, down to 29 now in Nashville. A little extra on the coffee meter this morning. You're probably going to need it as you head out the door because it is still a bit chilly, especially when you factor in that wind chill. It feels like low to mid 20s across parts of the area. Out the door forecast 41 today, but again, dreary conditions as cloudy skies continue. And talk about the rest of the forecast coming up here in just a few minutes.
We begin this morning with the developing story out of Knox County. Police say a man is dead and a suspect is on the run after a shooting at a gas station.
Happened just after midnight at the A&B Quick Stop on US 25 East in the Gray community. Kentucky State Police tell us a man walked into the store and pointed a gun at the clerk. 25-year-old Gary Medlin tried to run out of the store. He was a patron there, and that is when police say the suspect shot and killed him. This is a picture of the scene. Right now, troopers say they have not identified the suspect. They're still looking for the man and say he was wearing a gray hoodie, black pants, and tan boots. If you have any information that may help, you are asked to give Kentucky State Police Post 10 a call at 606-573-3131. And we will, of course, continue to update the story for you throughout the morning as we learn more both on air and online.
Well, icy roads caused many drivers in eastern Kentucky trouble yesterday. Constant rain and below freezing temperatures created black ice. There were several crashes reported in Knott and Letcher counties. One crash on Kentucky 15 involved an ambulance that was transporting 3 people. On Kentucky 160 near Carr Creek Elementary, there was another crash. A man was flown to the hospital as a result of that one. Drivers say the bridges were especially dangerous. At last check, everyone involved in the crashes was okay, and none of them had life-threatening injuries.
In Laurel County now, a man was arrested for reckless driving yesterday. Deputies got a call about a blue truck driving recklessly. Deputies say the driver of that truck was this man, Emmett Smith. In a search, they say they found a needle, 2 short straws, and a bent spoon, all with a white powder substance on them. Smith was taken to the Laurel County Detention Center.
A Bell County man is dead after an apartment fire in Middlesboro early Tuesday morning. Officials say 28-year-old Trey Branscombe was found inside the building, but later died while being transported to the hospital. When firefighters got to the scene, they say the flames were contained inside his apartment, leading them to believe the fire could have started there. His close friends say he was a very loving person who they considered family.
I think that he's going to be remembered as the loving person that he was. He loved everybody, whether they hated him or not. He loved animals, people, it doesn't matter what it was. He had so much love to give.
Officials will not say if they suspect foul play. They say an autopsy should tell them exactly how Branscombe died. Firefighters say there were 2 other people inside the building near the time of the fire, but they were able to get out safely.
A Kentucky man accused of a hate crime for killing 2 people outside of a grocery store was in a state courtroom Tuesday. 51-year-old Gregory Bush appeared before a judge for his first pretrial conference. Bush is facing 2 murder charges and 10 wanton endangerment charges. He is accused of shooting Maurice Stalliard and Vicki Lee Jones at a Kroger store last fall. Both victims were black and Bush is white. He pleaded not guilty in both state and federal court. He could face life in prison or the death penalty if he's convicted on hate crime charges.
Well, in other news this morning, the Martin County Sheriff's Department is struggling to keep their doors open.
They only have 2 paid deputies, and the sheriff says that they are basically running on donations.
WYMT's Marianne Fletcher talked to the new Judge Executive Bill Davis about how he plans to help the department.
Martin County is no stranger to financial issues. However, one department is in a crisis.
It is a bad time financially for Martin County.
Newly elected Judge Executive Bill Davis says he hopes to change the way things are running in his county.
We need to see what resources that we have so that we can take care of this and take care of it in the way that it should be taken care of.
Davis says 80% of the problem lies within the loss of coal money.
Loss of revenue from co-severance tax has played a significant part in that.
Right now, Sheriff John Kirk says he is the only active officer on duty during the day. Another officer takes over at night. I waited to talk to the sheriff. However, since he's the only one, he's been out all day. Sheriff Kirk told me before I drove to Martin County that he's a busy man. Little did I realize just how busy he truly is.
And he has done a really good job. We want to see that maintained.
In a Facebook post, Sheriff Kirk shared his concerns, saying, quote, "Simply put, it takes money to operate a sheriff's office, and if I don't have it, I can't operate effectively."
We are going to do our best to get this going in the right direction, but it's going to take time.
Hoping to steer the new year in the right direction. In Martin County, Marianne Fletcher, WYMT Mountain News.
In Sheriff John Kirk's Facebook post, he says the department is taking donations. If you would like to make a donation, you can call 606-298-2828. Well, there are changes coming to a Virginia Sheriff's Department. Wise County will soon have a new sheriff for the first time in nearly 25 years. At a news conference yesterday, Sheriff Ronnie Oakes announced he will not seek another term and will retire at the end of 2019. He has been in public safety for 50 years, serving as a trooper with the Virginia State Police and County Sheriff since 1996. He survived being shot in the line of duty nearly 47 years ago.
A woman from Mingo County, West Virginia, is facing a murder charge. Frida Davis is accused of killing Terry Lynn Pendergast Jr. Pendergast was shot inside a hotel room and later died at a hospital. Police say they were originally called to the hospital for a self-inflicted gunshot wound, but now believe the case is a homicide. No other information is available at this time, including the relationship between Davis and Pendergast.
Back in the fall, federal agents seized thousands of client files from the office of attorney Eric C. Kahn. Now a Lexington law firm is working to get those files back to former clients who need them. Tractor trailers and box trucks moved the more than 15,000 files to a secure space in Lexington. Several attorneys and some UK law students have been organizing all of those files. Now Kincaid and Stills law firm is hoping to get all of those files back into the hands of former clients.
Left a huge mess in their wake, and this is just one tiny part of it, but it's a very important part to the people that have their files there. The medical records are important to them, and that may be the only way they can get at those medical records at this point.
So far, they have about 800 files requested. They have been able to locate around 600 of those. The law firm has set up a phone number and email for former clients to reach out.
Well, to move forward, sometimes you have to look back. That is the idea of the Public Pensions Working Group tasked with fixing the state's troubled pension system. During its first meeting, the bipartisan group took a look back at how Kentucky ended up with about $40 billion in unfunded liabilities. They say that's the start to finding an answer for the pension system. The next step, finding a solution to help the more than 500,000 people in the state's pension systems.
Well, we have a response to share with you from Senator Rand Paul regarding a story we told you about yesterday. Senator Paul is getting surgery to repair a hernia that developed as a result of an attack in November of 2017 when his neighbor assaulted him over a property dispute. The senator received some criticism because he's getting the surgery in Canada. He explained why he chose the Shouldice Hernia Hospital for his surgery.
I looked for, a place that did primarily that type of surgery, a place that actually accepts Americans who pay cash. It's a private hospital.
Senator Paul says there are centers in the United States that are similar, but they do not specialize in the specific surgery that he needs. Ontario's public health insurance does cover many of the procedures conducted at the facility for Canadian citizens, but as an American, Senator Paul will have to pay for his care.
A well-known Republican is talking about joining Kentucky's governor's race. Congressman James Comer says he is being encouraged to run. Comer narrowly lost to Governor Bevin in the 2015 GOP gubernatorial primary. As of now, Comer says he will not only run if Governor Bevin is out. He says he has picked a running mate and has the paperwork ready to be filed.
Southeastern Kentucky Rehabilitation Industries had more than 100 people turn out for their job fair in Middlesboro yesterday. SECRI held a job fair at the Middlesboro City Hall to fill positions for their new location. Applicants like Tommy Smith say they came out because of SECRI's reputation and their focus on hiring people with disabilities.
Just says you're too old, this because of this and this and that and the other, but, it doesn't stop me. I always keep trying.
The Middlesboro factory is set to open by the end of February.
Well, in Virginia now, Lee County school officials have filed a lawsuit against the state for preventing the school board from implementing a plan that would allow teachers to carry firearms. According to the lawsuit, the state denied school superintendent Brian Austin's application to become a special conservator of the peace, a critical part of the school system's plan to allow armed staff members at county schools. Last year, Virginia Attorney General Mark Ehring determined the school system's plan was illegal.
And a Powell County horse is recovering this morning after being pulled from the Red River. Volunteers say the horse named Katie was in the water for several hours. Her leg was tangled in roots underneath the water. Another horse actually alerted the landowner to Katie. Volunteers tell us they had to work quickly to bring the horse out alive.
You don't want the horse to die and being right there with her and being kind of helpless because one person can lift her out. So it's just hard. I was just there to comfort the animal really until more help arrived on scene.
Katie is now being watched by a veterinarian. Shortly after she was pulled from the water, though, she was able to stand again and walked back to her barn. Still to come on Mountain News this morning, Nike has a new sneaker that evokes some memories of Marty McFly, controlled with an app on your phone.
And later in sports, we head down to Athens, Georgia for Kentucky basketball's second SEC road game. Those highlights are coming up.
Temperatures will continue to climb over the next few days, but we pay for it later this weekend with some of the coldest air of the season. I'll track it out for you in about 3 minutes.